Welcome to Real Success, the podcast for entrepreneurs wanting more. I'm Rob Christie. Executive and life coach Brent will take you on a journey exploring the key pillars of real success, ultimately leading to your best life. Stay connected and experience the success that really matters in business and life. And now, here's Brent with today's episode.
There are so many ways to live your best life and to experience the real success that matters most to you. And because there is no one way, I feel it's very important to hear from entrepreneurs who are out there living it right now. Some are absolutely thriving, aligned with all 7 of the pillars of real success. Some are doing great with some of the pillars while continuing to focus on change in others. Others yet are just getting started on their entrepreneurial journey and are setting themselves up for the success they want right from the get-go. I'm excited about learning from each and every one of them and sharing their stories with you. I know you'll find them helpful and very inspiring. On that note, I'd like to introduce my next guest entrepreneur. I'm very happy to introduce Bonnie Jensen-Walker of Bonstar Accounting Services. Welcome, Bonnie.
Why, thank you. I'm happy to be here and be able to be a part of your podcast.
Awesome. So in the podcast, of course, we talk an awful lot about real success and business owners that are experiencing it, that are on the path of it, that are wanting more and more of it. And having you on, Bonnie, it's kind of a twofold thing. Number one, your business itself and the financial management support that you provide your clients is a great benefit towards that for many business owners. But at the same time, you and your ownership of your business and your own path along that lines is something that I know that I would love to hear more and more about. So let's get right at it here. And maybe to start things off here, you can tell us just a little bit about Bonstar and the kind of work that you do.
All right. Well, Bonstar initially started about 6.5 years ago. I come from the corporate world and just felt that it was time for me to use my many years of knowledge to help small business owners be able to pave the way for their own businesses, because the bookkeeping world always ends up being the last thing on a business owner's mind because they're busy growing their business and doing what they do best. So I just felt there was a need for it. And so we've developed Bonstar, and we're 6.5 years old right now. And we are actually now servicing clients in BC and Alberta.
Oh, that's awesome. So you've been around for a while now, you're established, and you're starting to expand. Of course, in the online world, that becomes a little bit easier. And certainly that is the case for the kind of work that you do. You've also begun to offer a new program through your company, and it's one that I've found quite fascinating and beginning to hear about. Can you tell us a little bit about your Profit First program?
I definitely can. I just love this new program. We've decided to bring it on because we're finding too many small business owners, even larger business owners, living check to check, not realizing that they need to pay themselves first. And who is the most important person in their business is themselves. And they tend to forget about paying themselves first. And not only that, our focus with this Profit First program is to ensure a business owner has enough funds to be able to pay those daunting GST remittances, payroll remittances, income tax, because so many business owners, when they hit their year end and their accountant does their income tax, and then they get hit with this huge bill, and they're like, I don't have funds in the bank to pay it. And so we implemented this to educate business owners that they can have that money set aside by putting it aside throughout the year. So when that big bill comes at the end of the year, they've already got it set aside.
Absolutely. Well, and for that business owner that is going through that year and perhaps operating kind of blindly, like you're saying, it's nice not to have that surprise. It's nice to be able to feel comforted that that's not going to be an issue. But there's another side of it, isn't there? Where in terms of paying yourself first, that it not only is readiness for, say, that tax hit that might be there, but beyond, and what it could mean for your own life.
Yes, big time. With the Profit First program, not only are you setting aside the money for those tax bills, GST and payroll, but you're also setting aside money for yourself. And the nice bonus is that every quarter, because you're setting aside money in your profit account every time that you do an allocation every single month. But every quarter you end up paying out a bonus to yourself from whatever's set aside in that profit account. You end up getting a bonus. And the purpose of the bonus for yourself is not to, put the money back into your business. That bonus that's coming your way is actually to treat yourself to a vacation. Maybe you have some personal debt, pay down some personal debt. There's so many things out there. Go out and buy yourself a special outfit or whatever it might be. Go out and have a spa day. That's what those funds are for. Because as a business owner, you've honestly worked so hard. You've got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears within your business. I'm sure we've all cried on some of those days. And guess what? Who better deserves those special treats every quarter?
Oh, absolutely. And from an entrepreneurial kind of a mindset, we tend to put ourselves last, and therefore it's not it's not an automatic that people will think to do that or even want to do that. And so often we're caught up in that business first mentality and turn everything back into the business. And at an early point in time, maybe we do need to do that, but there comes a point when we are sustainable enough, when the income is coming in and it's coming in well, that we need to really keep that as a focus. And it's something that I think so many business owners out there just get caught up in that habit that leaves themselves last. And unfortunately, as time goes along and we get up in that kind of that inner voice saying, well, once I get to this particular point, then I can start thinking about that. But you don't have to wait until one day, right? It's something that can happen today, wherever a person's at, wherever they're at in their business, and start to build up and progress from there.
Yes, the Profit First program is for even a brand new business owner. Even if you don't have your first dollar in the bank account, you can start implementing it in your business right away. Even if you're setting aside 1% of every money deposit that comes into your bank account, that 1% can make such a world of difference.
So tell us about you and your own self, your own business. Have you been applying this profit first mentality? I think we've talked a little bit before where you said you ultimately were your own first client in this respect. How has it been working out for you?
Yes, we actually did implement the Profit First program, and we implemented it before I actually became a part of the program, just so I could get a real feel for it, see if it was going to be a great program for ourselves, for our clients, for any new clients. And honestly, we've had it implemented within Bonstar for about 6 months now. And it is such a good feeling to know that when my quarterly GST remittance is due, I don't have to figure out whether I have the money in the bank. The money's already sitting there. As a matter of fact, I recently have done a GST remittance, and because I set aside 5% right off the top of all of my income coming in, and not even taking into account the ITCs on the expenses, and I actually had another $800 set aside, which I ended up being able to put it into my profit account, which ends up being a bonus for me. So of that $800, I get another $400 in my personal pocket to go out for something special or put towards that special vacation. So just feeling that within our own business, it excites me, and it makes me feel good that I have something really good to share with other business owners that may or may not be struggling with having funds set aside, but maybe they have a big project that they need to set money aside for. And the Profit First program would be great for that type of thing as well.
Sure, sure. So have you taken any of that bonus money set aside and treated yourself or celebrated in any way yet?
Honestly, we are putting it aside because we are going to be going on a big vacation as soon as we're able to do that big vacation in the near future.
Awesome.
So we've set the funds aside so that way then we don't have to take out that loan or go, oh, we can't go on that vacation because we don't have the money to do it. So it's been set aside in a savings account and it's ready to go when we are.
Oh, perfect. I love the planning ahead part. Let's just hope it's not too long of a wait. But then again, the longer you have to wait, the more you're going to have in the account, so you can go on even a bigger, better vacation if you want to. So.
Absolutely. That's our goal.
Awesome. We'll come back to that in a little bit here, but I wanted to take things in a bit of a different direction and hear from you. Money, of course, and how we frame it, how we focus on it is one of the pillars of real success that I talk about quite often. And everything you've just been sharing kind of speaks right into that, framing it in a good, positive way. But beyond the financial side of things, I would love to hear about how you see real success to you in your life, in your world. What does that term, what does real success on a deeper level mean to you?
To me, real success, it's not always about the monetary part of it. To me, is being able to grow as a leader, just having the right attitude and being able to show gratitude to others. So we like to, in our business, we like to support local colleges for any students coming out to learn the accounting world. I was given the opportunity when I first launched, so I like to give back to others. And that's one way that we love to give back to, is because I was there. I needed somebody to mentor me to help us grow to where we're at now. And I just feel like I would love to be able to support those other students that are wanting to maybe go out on their own as a business owner, or even just get into the accounting world. So.
I love it. I love it. It's, when you really think about what real success is, of course, it's something that's unique and different to everybody. And the fact that it is a feeling of gratitude, as you put it, to be able to give back in a way that you once received, to be able to give back to those that are up or coming. It what is it, when you do that, when you see someone that you've supported that has had an opportunity come up as a result of what you are doing and the way that you are giving back, how does it feel to you? How does it make you feel when you notice that?
Honestly, it makes me feel so good because it brings me back to when I was there. And it just gives me that, like I say, just a really good feeling of gratitude, knowing that I was able to support somebody in their journey, and just, even seeing them flourish from there and take on the knowledge and be that person that they want to be. And it's so important to me to see others succeed in this world as well, because we're all in the same position, and it's so great to be able to support others, whether it's somebody that I'm mentoring or somebody that I'm supporting in a different way, maybe supporting their businesses by purchasing from them. It's just such a good feeling to see other people thrive within the world as well and grow.
That's awesome. I assume that at times we can directly see the impact of that pay it forward kind of mentality. But there's other times I imagine that we don't actually see it, and there is no connection or knowledge of the person that is benefiting back to you, and that's when it really comes down to you feeling and knowing that you're doing good, and the intrinsic value that it plays back on you for that.
Yes.
That's powerful. That's real success in so many ways. From an outside of work perspective, in your personal world, in your personal life, is there ways that you look at real success there and see it happening for you as well?
I would say for me, personally in my own life, as a child, I always dreamed of working for myself. Just, I didn't know what I would be doing for myself, but I've always dreamt about being that sole entrepreneur, but never felt I was going to be able to make it. I'm very much an introvert, and honestly, my biggest real success is being able to push myself out of that comfort zone. So just being comfortable, being uncomfortable has been a major success for me. A lot of people now will say there's no way that you're an introvert because you're just so out there. You're always talking to people and doing things that most introverts would not be doing. But it's always one of those things that I've always really strived for, and I always believe that I'll never make my dreams or goals come true unless I push myself out there past that comfort level. So that's always been something that I've always had in the back of my mind. In order to be really successful personally, I need to get a little bit more comfortable being uncomfortable.
Getting comfortable being uncomfortable. It's a part of the entrepreneurial spirit, is taking risks, pushing yourself a little bit outside your comfort zone, and overcoming some of the barriers that we've had. And I can completely relate, because I'm an introvert as well, but at the same time, I have gotten comfortable being more extroverted at times, or being, putting myself out there and doing some things. And in fact, just this podcast was one of those things for me. So I love to hear how that has been playing out. Now, I expect then that experiencing the real success you're experiencing, both personally as professionally, it hasn't always been there. So was there a particular point in time when things kind of had a turning point, or how did it kind of come about so that you were able to be where you're at this point in time?
There has been a few ups and downs, because I've gotten out of that being uncomfortable state as an introvert has been such a struggle. Where there's been many times where when we were out networking, I'd be sitting out in the car and talking myself out of going in, and and it was like, no, I just got to do this. I had to really be have those little gremlins in my head go away and talk myself out of those little gremlins saying, no, you can't do this, and saying, yes, I can do this. And just showing up. I really find that, if you really show up as yourself and don't worry about what others feel or think about you, you will eventually get over that uncomfortable state. And, I'm actually really super proud of myself, just being able to move forward and just let those gremlins go away from out of my head. So
that inner voice, those gremlins in your head, they can be they can certainly be a huge barrier, but at the same time, if you have that mindset, like you said, about getting comfortable being uncomfortable, then they can also be that motivator to push you to that next level and get you really to where you're at, right?
Yes.
So the lesson of getting comfortable being uncomfortable is something that you've learned along the way, and several times along the way as it became natural for you. What other kind of lessons did you learn along the way that you as you look back on them and say they were ones that really helped to form the path that you're on and the place that you're at on it right now?
I definitely had to learn a few lessons, and one of them for sure that stands out to me is that I can't do everything myself. You know, sometimes you just need to reach out to others, and whether it be outsourcing a task or, you know, bringing on a mentor to help you push through some of those struggles that you're having, like, you know, even getting comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, find a mentor that will actually help you through those moments. Don't be like me and try to push through it on your own, because it just, I find that holds you back. It'll hold you back from your dreams and your goals. So don't try to do it on your own. And also the other one is that you're not the only one that is going through these struggles. There are others out there, and I always felt like it was always just me. I'm the only one going through these struggles, until, you know, I start talking to more and more people, and it's like their struggles are very similar to mine, even though they're not in the same profession as me. So
Sure.
it's kind of interesting that no matter what profession or business you're in, we all have struggles, and they're very similar. They might be slightly different depending upon what business you're in, but that's definitely one of them. Another one is just, it's almost like when you're, I just find life is a lifelong commitment of learning. And every day you're always learning something. And I'm still to this day, still learning a lot of things. And, you know, and I'm sure I'll be learning something right through to the very end of my business journey.
we definitely are on a continuum, aren't we? It is a path way forward, and we continue to learn. We continue to identify those you know, those steps that we need to overcome, and you know, you raise some there that are that you have experienced, and you know, we in general as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we all tend to fall into some of those traps, and ultimately when we can see them and when we can choose to take a step to address them, to work beyond them, to move forward, then we can start moving further along this path of living our best life, of experiencing the dream business, the real success that we're looking for. So where do you go from here? You know, you're at this point in terms of experiencing the success that you're looking for and developing and growing your business and living your life. What's the next step or the next level of living your best life for you personally and for your company?
Okay, well, my next step would be, I really want to be traveling. And that was the whole point of me wanting to work for myself, is to be able to work from anywhere in the world, as long as I had internet or those types of things. But honestly, now I've been rethinking that next step. Not that I don't want to travel, I still want to travel, but I don't want to be able to work from anywhere in the world anymore. I want our business to be able to sustain itself. So
Okay.
that being said, is ensuring that there are processes and things in place so that our team can take care of business while we're away, and I don't need an internet connection. So I would say that that's my next level, my next step. I didn't ever visualize that as being my next step, but
Yeah.
now that I've created Bonstar, where I can work from anywhere in the world, I actually don't want to be working from anywhere in the world. I want to be traveling anywhere in the world, but I don't want to have to be working from anywhere in the world.
Right. And still have your business operating and functioning well while you're doing so, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly something that as we go along, we have our sights set on something, or we have the radar screen looking in a certain direction, and sometimes until we get a certain step along the way, we don't open up to those next new possibilities and even see a different level, a different style entering onto the radar screen. So, do you do you kind of check in with what that dream is, that big vision, periodically, allowing yourself to, based on where you're at this point in time, to see what's changed in that? And how did you come up with that shift that you just described there?
Um, the way I came up with it is, I guess, a year ago, I just started reevaluating some of our processes, and just thinking to myself, I shouldn't have to be working while on vacation. I should be able to be like others, like our team. They're able to just kind of let go and take that well deserved vacation. And so last year I had decided that, you know what, I really need to revamp my processes and procedures, and to ensure that everything is in alignment with my next level, best life that I want, and
Right.
being able to take that for like a 4-week vacation without having to worry about the business, and knowing that it's still operating while we're away, and not really needing to be checking in every single day. So we've been in the process of actually going to that next level of really um, revisiting our procedures and processes, and
Mhm.
ensuring that there's no gaps. And we're getting very close to where we can maybe take that 4-week vacation in the upcoming future, very close near future.
Nice, nice. It's as a business owner, we really do need to have a strong sense of comfort and confidence in both the systems and processes that we've got, but as well as the people that we've got as well. And when those are in place and operating really well, then not only can you go away, but when you go away, you can also let it go, such that you can be fully engaged in the moment of whatever you're doing, wherever you're doing, and enjoy it fully. So I hope that does come around for you soon. I hope we can travel soon, and I know that just in and as long as I've known you, that this is something that when it gets to that point, you'll be ready, and it's going to be an awesome experience for you. So just a couple more things before we wind up our chat here today. Um, Looking back, if you could look back and change one thing, along your path of being a business owner, or even just on the path of your life much longer than that, if there was one thing you could change, what might you do, and why?
I think one thing that I would have changed is maybe, honestly, I think is starting Bonstar a little bit sooner than what I did. Um, and thinking back, I did have a good friend of mine, very good close friend of mine, that kept saying, you need to go out on your own. You need to provide support for small business owners. And he had been nagging at me for probably 3 or 4 years, and I don't know what to support business owners in. I don't know. And he kept saying, well, go out and help them with their bookkeeping. I'm like, nobody's going to hire a bookkeeper. So it took me a
Yeah.
good 4 years to finally decide um, that I needed to go on this journey, and start helping small business owners. I actually even took a little mini vacation on my own. My husband Rick had sent me on this mini vacation, and told me I needed to figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up. And so I went away. I took the time, and that's what I spent for the whole week, is making up my mind what I truly, truly wanted in life
Yeah.
and in my business life. And honestly, there's no regrets. I just the regret that I didn't do it sooner.
Yeah. And it's that question, what do you want to do with the rest of your life, or what do you want to do when you grow up, it's a great one. And it's not always an easy one to answer, especially when we've got some underlying hesitations for one reason or another. And it does, when you do take the time, when you do sit with it for a while and start to see, you start to visualize your future, and that vision is what can be a powerful piece to allow you to then take those steps. And of course, as I've known you and as you've shared with us here today, you've had a nice, long, and continuously growing and evolving path, both in your life and in your business as a business owner. And I know it's going to continue forward. So thank you for taking the time today, Bonnie, to chat with me here and to share about your story. I'm sure that there may be people out there that might be interested in the support that you can offer to their business, and perhaps want to know a little bit more about the Profit First program, which might get them on this path of being able to live their best lives and experience the real success that they're looking for. So how can someone contact you if they want to?
The best way to contact me would be either email or phone number. So the email is Bonnie, BONNIE at bonstar.ca, or you can call our office at 780-244-4433. And Brent, I would like to thank you very much, as this has been a real honor for me to be a part of your interview. And yeah, it's been a great chat today.
Well, thank you again so much. I do appreciate that. And I know that I look forward to seeing you as you continue to grow on your path. And hopefully one day, not too long, we'll be able to bring you back on and have another chat and see how your continued success is evolving. So until then, thanks, Bonnie. Have a great day. And I look forward to talking again soon.
Thanks, Brent.
Thanks for listening. I hope this resonated with you today and inspires you to take a step towards achieving real success and experiencing your best life. You are absolutely worth it. Always remember that. If you got value today, please consider sharing this with another business owner on social media, by email, or even by directly texting this episode to a business owner you know who would appreciate it. You'll help extend our reach in supporting entrepreneurs everywhere to be successful in the ways that matter most to them. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast wherever you love to listen so that you can get notified when all new episodes are released. And one last thing. If you're ready to step up and onto your pathway of change and want to dive a little deeper into the 7 pillars of real success, go to my website at entrepreneurialfreedom.ca and you'll find a link to my post called The 7 Pillars of Real Success. I know it'll help. The website once again, entrepreneurialfreedom.ca. We'll be back soon with our next episode. Until then, be healthy, be happy, and have a day full of real success.